What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Monkey King MMA show. This week we have UFC St. Louis, and these are all of my main card best bets. Let's get right into it. First main card fight that I'm betting on is Waldo Cortez Acosta versus Rebeles de Spain. So, Rebeles de Spain is one of those fighters who is kind of like a Francis Ngannou level talent, just soaring up the rankings. He has a wealth of striking experience in comparison to a lot of these UFC heavyweights. And I think he's just going to cruise past anyone who's not, one of the top 5 heavyweights. So, yeah, anyone who thinks that Rebeles de Spain is about to get fraud checked, I think they're in for a rude awakening. I don't think that Waldo Cortez Acosta is necessarily an impressive MMA fighter by any means. I think he has cruised past some easier competition, and I think that Rebeles de Spain is probably going to get a KO finish within the first maybe 2 minutes of the fight. So I have Rebeles de Spain. I think this money line is, it's a gift. It's a gift because he's so early in his UFC career, and a lot of people still think that he might be a fraud. And yeah, we're about to make a lot of money after this guy. We move on up the main card to the next fight that I'm betting on, which is Alex Caceres versus Sean Woodson. For this particular matchup, I'm not taking either money line. I think that the money lines are, pretty fairly priced. I think that I'm looking more towards the decision props. I think that this fight is going to go the distance, and I want to take either of these guys' decision props. Now, Alex Caceres, I think that people are kind of doubting him here because, he used to be, for all the veterans, the people who watched UFC back in the day, Alex Caceres was that one-trick pony. He could only strike. Eventually, he started doing all these crazy submission attempts, all these reversals whenever it came to takedowns, and he started showing a little bit more, and he's more dangerous now. Like we saw him go toe-to-toe against Giga Chikadze and have a very close, stand-up striking affair. So I think Alex Caceres here, he's dangerous. Sean Woodson has some boxing. He has some good body work. He's very lanky, but he tends to rely on his reach. He tends to rely on how much distance he can cover with his arms because he's a freakish man. He's built like Slender Man. He can reach very far distances, and he tends to crutch on that. So I think Alex Caceres, he's going to catch Sean Woodson a few times when he's overextending on a punch, and he's going to have these bigger moments, and I think Alex Caceres ultimately wins a decision. I don't think he has that knockout power, that one punch, put your consciousness out type of power. So I'm taking Alex Caceres to win by decision in this fight. We move on down the main card to the next fight that I'm betting on, which is Joaquin Buckley versus Nursultan Ruzaboev. I butchered that name a little bit, but ultimately, I can't believe that Joaquin Buckley, the man who has, a wealth of UFC experience, has come down to 170, is finally looking in good form now. He's strung together some high-level wins, and now he's fighting this UFC absolute newcomer. He's cutting down to 170, has only one fight in the UFC, and it's at 185 pounds, and it's against Cedric Dumas, of all people. It's crazy that because he's a much taller opponent, he's, priced, Joaquin Buckley is priced almost at even odds with this absolute newbie. It doesn't make any sense. Joaquin Buckley is going to, utilize his grappling. I think he's also going to be able to work his way into the pocket, work his combinations, and I don't think Nursultan Ruzaboev is going to be able to keep up. I think whenever it comes to Saturday night, Joaquin Buckley is going to look like a minus 200 favorite in there. He's going to be peppering up Nursultan Ruzaboev. He's going to be taking him down. It's his choice on how he chooses this fight to end. So I'm going with Joaquin Buckley moneyline in this fight. We move on down the main card to the last fight that I'm betting on, Derrick Lewis versus Rodrigo Nascimento. So I don't see anything impressive about Rodrigo Nascimento that makes me think that he will beat Derrick Lewis. For you to be able to beat Derrick Lewis in a 5-round fight especially, you have to have something that you're just absolutely an ace at. That's my opinion. I think that either you're, able to grapple him for 5 rounds, which I don't think Rodrigo Nascimento is able to do. I think that, Derrick Lewis is going to be able to stuff the takedowns. He looked better in the later rounds against Jailton Almeida, had a few moments, and I think that he can potentially, I mean, he's going to make it much harder for Nascimento. I think Nascimento is going to be failing on takedown attempts. I think he's going to be getting peppered up while throwing leg kicks. I think, Derrick Lewis is going to counter him with a big shot, and one of these big shots is going to put the lights out. I have Derrick Lewis winning this fight. I'm taking the money line just in case because the KO prop is almost the same thing anyways. So I'm going with Derrick Lewis directly on the money line in this fight. And that concludes all of my main card best bets for UFC St. Louis. If you guys are tailing, let me know in the comments down below. Also, if you made it this far into the video, make sure to comment Monkey King live show in the comment section down below to let me know that you made it this far. I'm going to show love back to everyone who made it this far. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.